Hello, everyone, and welcome back inside of Destiny, the Taken King. Nick here with Degenerate Gaming. Today, Iron Banner is back. It is December 29th of 2015. This will be the last one of 2015, obviously. And yeah, Lord Salad Bar is back. He has some new gear for us. We're going to check out today. We're going to do a little bit of a review on all the items he has. We're going to talk about the Iron Banner. Um, Currently, it is Control again, as far as I know. No Clash this time around, which I'm sad to see Clash only here for a short time, but that's one man's opinion, not everybody else's. Also, want to apologize for the drought of content. I've kind of been dealing with some things where I had been actually moving to another state to go to work on a temporary basis. Well, it's a permanent basis, but um, anyways, I'm dealing with shitty hotel internet. Long story short, so I really don't have time to play a lot of Destiny or bring any content to you guys. So for that, I apologize. I'm working on getting that straightened out, and believe me, when I do, you guys will know. So for that, without further ado, let's go talk to Lord Saladin and see what's going on this time around for the Iron Banner. Obviously, the emblems and the shaders still haven't changed. So, again, yeah, you're rank 5. You're going to want to equip those. First and foremost, as you can see, I already have mine. Those are going to increase faction rep or Iron Banner rep right out of the gate. Definitely going to want to make sure you have those equipped. Um, oh, yeah, one more thing. I don't have it, but if you have the Wolf's Wood Cloak, that will increase your faction rep gain. Definitely want to put that on. I didn't actually run through on my hunter to get any of that stuff the first time it came around, so I'm without. So this will probably be the second or the third character that I run through. Uh, Again, definitely, if you have it, you want to use it. And once you hit rank 5, whether you have the cloak or the class item, the Mark of the Titan, the Wolfswood Bond, whatever, it'll still be pretty easy to get to rank 5 on your second and third characters if you're that ambitious. I know last time it took me all of about like 3 days, and it was pretty simple. Once I got one character up to rank 5, you get a pretty serious boost. And as the days go by, your faction or Iron Banner rep, gains increase due to bounties and everything else. Speaking of bounties, let's see if anything else has changed. These were all the same last time. Obviously, 10 kill streak, 5 double kills, top overall skull, rank 4, matches and wins, kills with certain types of weapons, for the weekly and for the dailies. And then you have a win a match. So nothing really new there. We'll get right into the gear here. Iron Companion boots, which again I didn't get the last time, so I'll definitely be going for these. These have outside of some interesting perks for excess ammo carrying capacity for shotguns and rockets. Very good for trials, really. Both of them. Everybody knows we love rockets and trials of Osiris. But what I did want to talk about and touch on real briefly on these because they have been out. Second Wind says on respawn, weapon and movement speeds are greatly increased. This happens every time that you spawn in. So every time you die, you come back to life, you get rezzed, whatever. You get about 15 seconds of increased movement speed and weapon speed, and that counts for your reload times. Anything you could possibly want to do with your weapons, switching, great perk to have, great to use in the Crucible. If you can get a pair of boots that have these on there, definitely recommend using them. They're good. I would recommend infusing them. After they fix the bugs and everything, though, you'll probably get these to drop a little higher. I don't know how high you can get them. Packages, I would imagine, will drop these anywhere from 300 to 310. I doubt. I don't know. Well, I shouldn't say that. I don't know for sure if you can get them to drop over 300 in the Iron Banner matches. I would like to see that actually, but I don't know if that is true, so don't quote me on that. We do have helmets this time around, and Same thing, they have a lot of the same perks on it. A couple of things I want to touch on. You have Ashes to Assets, very useful. I know a lot of people like to run discipline builds in the Crucible, especially in Trials too. So that's a good one to have. Also, Angel of Mercy, gain bonus super energy from reviving others. Good perk to have in Trials, very useful. Not so much for Iron Banner, but a good PvP perk nonetheless. And it has better already. Shield start recovery immediately after orb pickup. Again, another a nice one, but typically doesn't really. I don't know. Something about this perk just kind of rubs me the wrong way. I feel like an Iron Banner and Crucible nowadays, where everybody is kind of on that same plane, that if somebody's drawing a beat on you and they're firing bullets your way, running to pick up orbs is probably not going to save your life all too often. But not a bad perk to have, I guess, in a sense. We'll see. I'm not too big on it, but again, it's not the worst thing you could have. Now we have a second helmet here, and for those of you who are wondering what the hell's going on, I play on PlayStation. So Iron Banner has a PlayStation exclusive specific set of armor. This is it, the Iron Camelot Cascade, and it has the same perks on it. It's the same thing. It just looks different, as you can see it there. I don't know as if this will drop, or if the rest of the armor will drop. I would imagine you could get it from packages. However, I'm not sure if it would drop in matches. And that goes for the rest of the armor and other weapons you don't see here. Again, I don't know. You'd definitely be able to get them from packages at rank 3 and rank 5. However, I don't know if you can get them to drop in the match. If it would, that would be sweet, because I'd like to complete these collections of armor, things I need, without having to wait for them to come back around to specific drops in the loot pool. Anyways, moving to the weapons, and this is where we're going to talk a little more in depth. We have Hakun's Hatchet, and as you can see, it is one of the higher rate of fire, lower impact auto rifles. I got a couple of weapons here to compare these two. As you can see, it is that Monte Carlo style of auto rifle. Obviously, it's not as good in the range stability and reload categories. Same size on the magazine. Let's take a look at the perks. It has Red Dot ORS, Sure Shot IS, and Focus Lens FLS2 for your scopes and your sights. And you have one with superb target acquisition, but it kind of was a short penalty to range and stability. I think the Red Dot ORS would be the best choice. And this perk is rather interesting because auto rifles were supposed to receive a buff, and some of them feel like they just aren't cutting it in Crucible. I don't use a whole lot of auto rifles. I know, however, I don't particularly enjoy using a lot of auto rifles. But this one with crowd control intrigues me for a little bit, and here's why. Because typically with auto rifles, the time to kill with them is rather horrendous. Now, when you get crowd control to proc, and you can gain that bonus damage for a short time, since it's going to be easier for you to chain kills, which is a pretty badass perk to have on an auto rifle, especially one like this, where it's not exactly a bullet hose, but it's the next best thing. Now, moving to the middle perk tree, we have hand loaded, we have feather mag, and we have reinforced barrel. Now, before we talk about this, we're going to go over here and go to counterbalance, which is the final perk on there, and there's the stationary perk. Obviously, there is no choice down below. Counterbalance is going to turn this weapon's recoil almost completely vertical, which makes it a lot easier to control. So when we look at this middle perk tree, and we look at our sights now, if we were to, we can take a buff in stability for a slight buff to, or excuse me, a drop in stability for a slight buff to range. I don't think I would mess with that. However, target acquisition might be nice, and the reload speed might be nice for this thing handling a little faster. So, if you wanted to go with the Sure Shot IS scope, or sight mount rather, and then you wanted to run something like reinforced barrel and really buff the range, and essentially some of it would wash, which is a sure shot. But however, with counterbalance, a skilled hand can really control this and make this a very deadly weapon. However, if you are one of those people who struggles to control recoil and you just for some reason can't grasp the concept or aren't coordinated enough on the controller, you can run hand loaded and get a little bit of a range buff, and I would probably stick with the red dot ORS to get the max out of what you can get. Either way, this thing seems like it would be at the very least a viable option. It has pretty good roll of perks on it. I bet you this thing probably will kill a lot in the Crucible. It'll probably be an easier auto rifle to use as opposed to the many others that are out there. Definitely going to pick that up. Obviously, 90 legendary marks at rank 4. Probably get it to drop now that they fixed all that. So I would wait and see what you get before you end up dropping it. You might get one with a better roll. I don't really know what else you would look for. Maybe a brace frame or something to that nature. Small bore would be pretty good, as it would buff range and stability and drop that mag size. But crowd control and counterbalance are two perks that I think I would really love on this. I think I could live with hand loaded if I can't get over the stability drop and reinforced barrel. So definitely want to pick this up from the vendor if you don't get a better one to drop. But again, keep in mind what perks you get on what, looking for that good roll. Now, we're going to take a look at the shotgun, and this is the not so Fellwinter's. This is Fellwinter's Lie 2.0, or the Iron Banner shotgun from year 2. I actually do have Big Daddy Fellwinter here to compare it to, and it's a bit different. As you can see, the rate of fire is a lot higher, impact and range are lower, stability is a lot better off than it was in the Fellwinters, and I believe that Fellwinters I have has something that increases range and lowers stability. I believe it has like reinforced barrel or something to that nature. Either way, what it does more look like to me, oh, maybe not. Anyways, the archetype of this weapon, if you guys remember this shotgun from year 1, it is the Judgment 4. That was the New Monarchy shotgun. It was one of my favorite weapons to use in Crucible before shotguns took the prison rape nerf. And as you can see, it doesn't quite have the impact or the range as the Fellwinters, but that rate of fire is something serious. Now, my Judgment had Luck in the Chamber and crowd control on it, which is pretty serious as far as damage goes. But one thing, the perks on this shotgun really work well with what I think we are now trying to do with shotguns. And here's why. For your ballistics, you have smart drift control, which is what you start with. You have field choke, which is more range and a sliver more impact with a lot less stability. And you also have aggressive ballistics, which is a little more impact and shorter range, which really you can't even see. But you really got a penalties of minor stability, or a less of a penalty to stability, as opposed to field choke. Now, here's where things get interesting. This weapon has full auto on it, so that stability being high is a good thing. You're going to want that. It doesn't fire all that fast, though, compared to, let me see if I have an invective or a burden. Yeah, I do. So this is the compared to the invective, which is another full auto shotgun, and you can see that the fire rate is almost cut in half. So when you see that stability there, that stability is a good thing. You're probably going to want to keep that right there, because this thing is going to fire slow enough. It's not going to fire real fast like like the Burden of Proof or like the Invective with full auto, it's probably going to be a little bit more like the next big thing with full auto. It's not going to be able to just rip these shots off real quick. That stability being high is a good thing because you don't want this thing flying off the handle when you're racking off shots. Now, we have fitted stock, quick draw, and flared magwell in the middle perk tree. As you can see, fitted stock actually increases this weapon stability with no penalties anywhere. It shortly increases it. I'm trying to, there you can kind of see how much it'll increase. And that's a good thing. This is probably a situational thing. If you are using this and you feel that you need more stability, if you are having trouble controlling this recoil, I would recommend fitted stock. Obviously, we're going to have to go with field choke here. We need to get that impact and range up high. So fitted stock will make up for some of that. Also have flared magwell, which is reload faster. We don't care about that. Not with our shotgun anyway. One of the interesting perks, and something that I thought of with all the shotgun nerfs that came in the latest patch, this weapon does have quick draw, which is rather interesting because the shotguns took a hit into their ready times and aiming down sights times, that sort of thing. So having this, and I rather like shotguns with quick draw on it, especially in year 2 more so, because they are a bit clunky to handle and quick to draw, or excuse me, and not so quick to draw for a lot of them. So having this perk, I have this on my Invective, or I believe Invective has this perk on it. Let me check real quick. And I like using it. Yeah, it does have quick draw, and I use this quite a bit. And I'll switch, from quick draw to fitted stock. However, depending on what I'm doing in Crucible or whatever, playing in PvE. But again, so you might want to go with quick draw. I probably will, just as to test it out, see if fitted stock is necessary or not with the base stability. I think it will be. So quick draw is probably what I would go with here. And then lastly, we have replenish. This weapon's magazine will be refilled whenever you unleash your super. Garbage slot perk, in my opinion. Not really all that good. I mean, saves you on the reload time, but odds are if you're gunning I can't ever really think of specific moments where I could find this perk useful. When I'm getting ready to unleash my super, I'm usually switching right back to a primary and going at it. Back in year 1 when blink shotgunning was all that people did and people were basically running around with shotguns as primaries, I could see that being a very useful perk. However, now not so much on a shotgun. I think they could come back with something else, maybe like a rangefinder here, or something to that nature. I don't know if you can even get it in this slot, but something to that effect if you're getting it, looking for a drop or a better roll on it than this. This does have a pretty interesting roll until you get to about here. I still think it's a good one, however. But again, if you could find one full auto with fitted stock or something like along the lines with a rangefinder, or possibly even another stability perk maybe, so you can go quick draw, stability perk here. That would be something to watch out for as far as a god roll goes. All things to just keep in mind when you're looking at them drops. But again, that is basically my review of what's going on in the Iron Banner. This is just kind of a preliminary thing. If you guys want, leave in the comments below. I can do individual reviews on these weapons after I've used them for a little while. I can try to before I have to hit the road here at the end of the week. And yeah, definitely. Thank you for watching. Please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Hopefully this helped you out making a decision, if anything at all. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Later.